Hello everyone, it's Dr. Boyer, and today in our course we're going to take a look at Google Trends. This is a really cool site that allows you to visualize data and learn more about your topic from sort of a global perspective based on how many times the keywords you're using have appeared in Google. So let's take a look at the home screen first of all. So right now, as we can see, these are certain topics that are obviously very much in the news. And if we scroll down, these are other topics that are currently trending and very, very much searched across Google right now and in the past 24 hours. But we want to explore topics of our own interest. So my topic that I'm interested in is blended learning. And so I'm going to have Google Trends find that for me. And what you'll see here, first of all, is that it's going to give me the past 5 years. And what you're seeing is a trend line showing interest over time in this particular topic. Now, where you see these deep dives tends to be holiday weeks and so on, but it gives you an idea of the relative interest in the topic. So as you can see back here in 2012, the interest was growing, but now as we are in 2016 into 17, the interest is much higher. If we scroll down, we can also see a map that tells us the interest, relative interest by region. And so, of course, if we look at the United States, our interest level is pretty similar to that of Australia and Canada and so on. India is a little bit lower. Germany is much higher, which is really interesting. So if I were doing research into blended learning, this might alert me to a trend, again, of something that maybe I'd want to check out as to why is blended learning much more of a search topic in Germany perhaps than it is in the United States. You'll see rankings also by region, once again, overall rankings. And then you'll see related topics and queries below. All right, let's change it though. Let's look at just the past 12 months. And now we can see where people's interest lies in blended learning. Again, when we drop down, tends to be at holiday time and so on, but we can watch that trend line move. And now when we look at it in this past 12 months, we see again the top interest is in the United States and in Germany. All right, very interesting. Notice we can also add a comparison note, which is wonderful. So I'm going to compare it to how often do people search for blended learning versus online learning. And notice I could keep adding comparisons here as well. And you're going to see that for the past 12 months, blended learning has remained pretty steady in relative terms to online learning, which has also remained fairly steady but has much higher search interest overall than the topic of blended learning. Again, it gives us interest by regions and then some other related topics as well. So it's very fascinating to take a look at our comparison points, and we can always quickly remove those. We can also, if we want to search for things, we can just search in the United States or any other region of the world. And so this is the United States for the past 12 months and our interest in blended learning. And if I scroll down, now it breaks us down by state and what our relative interest in blended learning has been. So I see more in Ohio, more in South Carolina, and so on. All right, so fascinating information that we can glean from these particular trends just in how people are using Google Trends. So let's try a different topic. This time I'm going to try standardized testing. And here I'm going to, let's go first of all to past 5 years. And so we'll see the interest over the past 5 years and where it has peaked and where it has dropped. And here we can see subregions again for the United States and how interested different states were in standardized testing. Pennsylvania is pretty high there. Indiana is very high. But let's say I want to see for the whole world. And now when I take a look at interest in standardized testing across the globe for the past 5 years, the map is very interesting because I see that most of the interest tends to be in the US, in North America, and not so much in the rest of the world. So that also is kind of very interesting to take a look at. So Google Trends is a really cool tool to use. This is just scratching the surface of what you could possibly do with Google Trends. So I hope you'll explore it and think about ways that you could possibly use it with your students.